Your entry into the new hierarchy of deception doesn't begin in a secret laboratory. It starts on a standard gaming laptop in a quiet bedroom. You are the content forger, and at this rank, you are the mimic. You aren't trying to collapse a government yet. You are exploring the boundaries of synthetic reality. You've moved past simple Photoshop into the world of generative AI. You spend your nights training latent spaces, teaching a computer how a specific person's mouth moves, how their eyes crinkle when they laugh, and the exact pitch of their voice. At this level, you are mastering the foundations of the fake. You start with face swaps, taking the likeness of a celebrity or a local politician and grafting it onto a different body with frightening precision. You are learning the art of the grain. You realize that a deepfake that is too perfect looks suspicious. To make it believable, you add digital noise, slight motion blur, and realistic lighting and shadows. You are playing with voice cloning, taking a 30-second clip of someone talking and turning it into a text-to-speech model that can say anything you type. The transition at level 1 is the realization of power. You post a parody video of a famous CEO saying something ridiculous, and you watch as 50% of the commenters believe it is 100% real. You see how easy it is to bypass the common sense filter of the general public. You are no longer just a digital artist, you are a reality hacker. You begin to understand that truth on the internet is just a matter of how many pixels are in the right place. You are moving away from fun and toward function. The pay at this rank is low, mostly freelance bounties or small-time social media manipulation, but the data capital you are building is massive. You are learning which GANs, generative adversarial networks, are the most stable and how to bypass the first-generation deepfake detectors. You are the mimic, the one who has realized that the human brain is remarkably easy to trick if you have the right algorithm. You are the spark that will eventually burn down the concept of evidence. You have moved beyond creating single videos and into the realm of permanent fabrication. You are now the identity architect, the creator of people who do not exist. At this rank, you aren't just mimicking a voice, you are building a synthetic soul. You realize that a deepfake is only effective if it has a history. A video of a person is a ghost, but a person with a 5-year LinkedIn profile, a trail of Instagram vacation photos, and a realistic digital footprint is a weapon. Your work at level 2 is defined by mass persona fabrication. You spend your days generating shadow personas. You use AI to create thousands of unique photorealistic faces that have never existed in the physical world. You then seed these faces across the internet. You write scripts that allow these fake people to interact with each other, liking each other's posts, commenting on news articles, and building a web of social proof. You are constructing an ecosystem of deception. To an investigator, these personas look like real professionals, activists, or journalists, but they are all controlled from your single dashboard. The technical challenge at this level is temporal consistency. It's easy to make one fake photo, but making that same fake person look older over 3 years, or showing them in different lighting and clothing across hundreds of images requires a global identity model. You are mastering the deepfake pipeline, automating the creation of a person's entire life story. You are also learning to bypass liveness detection. You aren't just making static images, you are creating puppet models that can blink, breathe, and react naturally during a basic identity verification scan. The psychological shift at level 2 is the God complex. You look at the internet and see a world populated by your creations. You realize that you can create an expert on any topic overnight. You can manufacture public outcry or universal agreement simply by activating your army of shadows. You are the creator, the one who has realized that in the digital age, identity is just a collection of data points, and you are the one holding the pen. You have moved from building personas to deploying them in live combat. You are now the infiltration specialist, the Trojan. At this rank, the deception is no longer passive, it is interactive. You aren't just posting videos, you are engaging in real-time, two-way communication using synthetic masks. You are the one who enters a corporate Zoom call or a high-level briefing room, and everyone on the other side sees a person they've known for years. Your role at level 3 is defined by biometric spoofing and social hacking. You use real-time deepfake streams, software that maps your facial expressions onto a target's face with zero latency. When you speak, the AI transforms your voice into the exact frequency and cadence of a company's chief financial officer or a government director. You are performing voice phishing or vishing on steroids. You call a junior accountant and using the voice of their boss, you authorize an emergency multi-million-dollar wire transfer. You are the ghost in the machine that turns trust into a vulnerability. The technical challenge at this level is environmental awareness. To survive a live interaction, your deepfake has to react to the micro-clues of the conversation. If someone asks a surprise question, your synthetic face cannot glitch or freeze. You are mastering neural injection, where your AI-generated stream is injected directly into the computer's virtual camera feed, bypassing traditional security checks. You are also learning to spoof background noise, the sound of a busy airport or a specific office, to add layers of atmospheric truth to your deception. The psychological toll at level 3 is the adrenaline of the lie. You are living a double life in real time. You realize that you can bypass $1 billion of cybersecurity with just a 30-second video call because the human firewall is the weakest link. You aren't just a hacker, you are an actor of shadow. You are the Trojan, the one who realizes that if you can control what someone sees and hears, you own their reality. You have turned the most personal parts of a human, their face and voice, into a skeleton key. You have graduated from individual targets to entire populations. You are now the puppet master, the influence lead. At this rank, you aren't just trying to steal a password or wire transfer. You are trying to steal the public narrative. You manage what the industry calls deepfake farms, coordinated networks of synthetic personas that act in unison to create a fake reality for millions of people at once. You are a specialist in cognitive layer warfare, attacking the way people process truth. Your role at level 4 is defined by coordinated disinformation. You don't just release one fake video, you release a synthetic event. For example, you might create a deepfake of a political leader making an inflammatory statement, and then immediately activate 10,000 of your level 2 shadow personas to share it, debate it, and verify it across every social platform. You create fake news broadcasts with synthetic anchors to report on the fake event. By the time the real person issues a denial, the deepfake echo chamber has already made the lie the dominant truth in the mind of the public. The technical challenge here is algorithmic manipulation. You have to understand the recommendation engines of YouTube, TikTok, and X, formerly Twitter, better than the engineers who built them. You design your deepfakes to be high engagement, meaning they are optimized to trigger outrage, fear, or tribalism, ensuring the platform's own algorithms push your deception to the top of everyone's feed. You are also mastering deep doubt. Sometimes your goal isn't to make people believe a lie, but to make them stop believing anything. By flooding the world with fakes, you make people dismiss real evidence as just another deep fake. The psychological weight at this level is the death of shared reality. You realize that you are the one holding the master switch for public opinion. You are no longer an infiltrator. You are a social engineer. You see how easily a society can be fractured when they can no longer agree on what they saw with their own eyes.
You are the puppet master, the one who has realized that in the age of the algorithm, the person who controls the synthetic majority controls the direction of history. You are the puppet master, the one who has realized that in the age of the algorithm, the person who controls the synthetic majority controls the direction of history.
You have ascended from social manipulation into the realm of national sovereignty. You are no longer working for a brokerage or a farm. You are a strategic deceiver, the ghost director, operating within the highest circles of state intelligence. At level 5, you manage the synthetic presence of an entire nation. You aren't just making videos, you are designing synthetic martyrs, fake whistleblowers, and ghost units to deceive foreign governments and move the needle on global geopolitics. Your role at level 5 is defined by high-stakes geopolitical fraud. You are the architect of the false flag 2.0. Instead of physical sabotage, you orchestrate a digital collapse. You might create a deepfake, a leak from a rival nation's high command, showing them planning a coup or an invasion. You don't just send it to the press, you ensure it is intercepted by the rival's own intelligence agencies through a back door you've spent months preparing. You are playing a game of perceptual entrapment, where you force your enemies to make real-world military decisions based on a reality that only exists in your servers. The technical challenge at level 5 is deep tissue authentication. At level 5, you are fighting against level 5 detectors, state-sponsored AI systems designed to spot the tiniest physiological inconsistencies in a synthetic human, such as the lack of blood flow in the earlobes or irregular blinking patterns. To bypass these, you use biosynthetic integration. You merge real human biometric data with your AI models to create unmaskable fakes. You are also managing the erasure, ensuring that the source code, the server logs, and even the existence of your department are wiped clean the moment a mission is completed. You are a master of infinite deniability. The weight of this rank is the erasure of the self. You live in a world where you can never be sure if your own colleagues are real, or if you yourself are being watched through a synthetic lens. You realize that your value isn't your technical skill, it's your ability to remain a ghost while you change the course of human history. You are the ghost director, the one who has turned the world's digital infrastructure into a hall of mirrors. You have realized that in a world of perfect deception, only that matters who tells the story first. You have reached the ultimate pinnacle of the digital age. You are no longer a forger, a scout, or even a director. You are the architect of reality, the sovereign. At this level, you have achieved what was once thought impossible, the total decoupling of information from fact. You sit at the center of a world where the distinction between what is real and what is synthetic has been permanently erased. You don't just manipulate the truth, you define it. Your primary weapon is systemic epistemological warfare. You have moved beyond individual deepfakes and into the management of total environments. You realize that if you control the sensors, the archives, and the communication channels, you control the history of the present. At this rank, you oversee the liveness infrastructure of a nation. You are the one who ensures that if a leader disappears or an event never happens, the digital world simply fills in the gaps so seamlessly that the public never even notices a glitch. You are the master of the permanent counter-narrative, where every real event is instantly met with 1,000 synthetic versions until the very concept of the truth becomes an exhausted, obsolete relic. The technical challenge at level 6 is algorithmic absolute. You aren't fighting human detectors anymore. You are fighting the very physics of the digital